What it do, what it do, what it do. Who? It is I, Eden the Hero. Welcome to Humble Good Times. Here for another week of journeying through adversity. So, let me just start off with saying this. This week has been a bit exhausting on the whole new administration and just realizing how big of a reality star that Trump is. Now, that has nothing to do with my adversity. However, my YouTube has been inundated, I believe that's how you say it, with a bunch of Trump related videos that I've been kind of just unintentionally binging on, but I'm trying to stay informed, and I should really not even start off with that. I apologize. I just want to say my condolences to the families and the victims of not one but two plain tragedies in DC and in Philadelphia. That one hit close to home for me because I have family that's in Northeast Philly, and I'm thankful to God that they're safe and they were home when I reached out to them last night about it. That literally just happened last night, the Philly one, and then yesterday was the one in Philly, and then there was one a few days ago in DC, which everybody should know by now. I'm in mourning of that shit, for real. I'm in mourning of the country and where it's going. I just feel it feels so foreign to me, everything that's going on right now in our country. Like, we've had bad administrations in the past, but I don't think anything was as bad as it is now, to where there's no compassion, there's no just thought put into like what to say to the people to keep them calm and comforted during a tragedy that happened in your country. Because, like, despite how anybody feels about race or whatever, and just a tragedy like that where it affects many different people, it's like we all feel that shit because this is human lives. These are lives that are so sadly taken, tragically taken, and this is more trauma. Like, January, I just couldn't believe how much has happened in January. Between the fires, these plane crashes, this new administration coming in, and all the big bullshit that's surrounding that, I just feel so much, and yet nothing at the same time. I just wish others would consider, before they just jump on the bandwagon of whatever Trump says, I wish they would really consider the fact that what they're saying and how God is real. Let me just put that out there. God is real. God don't make mistakes, and this was not God's doing in any of this. This was not God taking these lives because, it was their time. These were repercussions of just firing people, not having the proper people in place to monitor whatever in aviation, this there was no failures of these planes. These were strictly coming from very harsh and ignorant actions of our president. And I blame him. I don't care. I blame Trump. I blame his administration for not checking him on stuff. Like, this is just ridiculous. There's no way in hell there should have been 2 back-to-back plane crashes. There shouldn't have even been one. The first one happened where Black Hawk helicopter, military helicopter, flew into a plane. Why that would never happen when it comes to our military. Our military is so strategic and smart, and years of training in everything that they do, like everything that they have to do and learn and be tested on. Like, there's no way in hell this would have happened just from being like negligent or something. And it just sucks that it happened at all. Like, the lives of those people on the Black Hawk and the lives on the American Airlines all taken. Like, they're talking about retrieving the bodies. It's one thing when they're like retrieving people versus just bodies, and it just, it's so heavy. It's such a heavy situation, and I just pray. I pray for those families. I pray for our country, our nation. I pray for God to make things better, however that may be. I was trying to explain the last week about it was a Bible story about Saul who goes in, but he changes his name from Saul to Paul because of his belief in Christ and becoming a Christian and everything. And his life prior to becoming a Christian was killing Christians, and having someone who, like Trump, is, I don't see him as religious. I don't see him as spiritual at all. He thinks he's a god. He thinks he's to be worshipped, and I just can't get down like that. I don't believe that. But having a Saul in office right now, it sometimes takes that to get things to change for the better, and where it could possibly bring our country together and unite us. We are the United States. We need to unite against this administration, because we're all being affected. If you're not a billionaire, we're all being affected by all these changes that are happening. And so, I don't know. I just feel like this could really make a good impact for us as a country. But at the same time, we're going to feel the brunt of all of this changes and lack of compassion. And I'm thankful though that we got people in our Congress, in our Senate, all of that. We got people up there that's not sitting by the sidelines and just letting shit happen and letting him get his way. They're fighting for us. And I watched a few videos of actual senators speaking out against the shit that's been going on. So I pray that they're all able to come together and really just get him the fuck out. Like, I just want him impeached. I want him impeached. I want him out of office, because I think you need somebody with sensitivity training. You need somebody that needs to know how to comfort his country when things are happening that are so tragic, especially with the families. They gotta be they gotta be watching the TV or be on their phones seeing some bullshit about DEI being the blame and Biden being the blame for the tragedies who aren't in office, and then DEI only allows people to have a fair chance at being chosen with the credentials. It's not that people are just being picked out of the fucking crowd with no education in the types of jobs. They're picking people with the education, with the credentials and qualifications, but wouldn't get a chance because they're not white. Like, that's what all the DEI, the equal employment opportunity shit was all about. So my heart goes out. My heart. Let me do it. My heart goes out to the families, and my condolences, my deepest condolences to everyone affected by the DC tragedy and the Philly tragedy. Okay, I had to get that out the way. My journey right now with the adversity, it's I'm just trying to stay mentally in a healthy place and not allow anything to get to my head of my age, my circumstances, my whatever everybody else is, what I have, what I don't have. I'm trying not to let that affect me, and it's not easy. I'll be honest with you. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I feel like I've been going to the grocery store a lot. And so I pulled out all my receipts after I went to the grocery store yesterday. And I thought it was pretty high for the amount of things that I bought versus what I spent. So I went through all my receipts within the last 2 weeks because that's when I got my the help from my family. And I spent about $157 and some change on groceries. And it's just so hard to believe. Like, it is so hard to believe. $157 in the last 2 weeks. I spent $45 on 17 items yesterday. I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy to me, because y'all remember a few months ago I spent $30 on 6 items at Publix. Aldi, I spent about $33 on like 31 items. And I was just like, how is it that I was able to get so much more then, and now I have way less items and I'm paying way more money? Inflation. I'm just so appalled. Like, I'm very appalled by our economy. And then on top of all of this, with these prices, everybody knows, like, the job market sucks right now. The amount of money they're offering for these positions is way under what the type of job that we're applying for. It doesn't equate. They don't equal. The type of position and the money is just not equaling. The math ain't mathing. So I just don't know. I don't know how we can even accept this shit anymore. Like, I'm so ready to get on the front lines with people. Like, actually, I saw on Facebook that they're gonna be rallying for good union jobs, healthcare, and it was something else. They're gonna be getting together next week for an hour, 11 to 12. And I'm going. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put myself out there to try to get involved because I really want to be a part of the solution, and I want us to come together. If I'm talking about it, I want to be about it, and so I'm gonna be doing that next Saturday, and I just want better for all of us, man. I want us all to do better. I want good for everybody. I even was just having like my talk with God as I was on my treadmill, and I'm just like having a moment of just in my head. But then I was looking at something on YouTube, and it's about reality TV shit, and it's one of these. It's someone that's not even on the reality TV. They're kind of just someone that is connected to someone in reality TV, but the tear down of people, I just can't be a part of that no more. I don't feel good about it. I'm someone that's not in a really good place at all. I mean, I'm not in the worst place, but I'm not in the best place where I want to be. And for me to sit here and contribute to the toxicity of tearing someone else down because they're not favorable, I just can't do it. So I've always lived by the rule of if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. So I pray. I'll just go into prayer for people that I'm not really fond of, but I don't know them. That's the person that I was talking about, but all right, sorry. So yeah, I'm not contributing to the downfall or the kicking people while they're down or any of that shit. I just want to stay on the right side of God and just be a prayer warrior and a hopeful person. So edit out like a minute and some change. All right, so yeah. Another thing that came across my mind this week has been there's just so much extreme behaviors, extreme self change. I don't know what the word. The cosmetic surgeries. There's a lot of that going on. The overconsumption of things. It's just been a lot of greed, in my opinion. I even had to cut back because of my circumstances, but I'll even say like I would overconsume for no reason because I can. And now that I'm in a position where I'm just like I can't really do it, but I don't even want to. Like today I was gonna go to the thrift store again, and I talked myself out of it because I'm just like there is nothing that I want or need right now other than just more money, better job, and just to pay my bills on time, get rid of this debt, all of that shit. So I just realized like when things happen in our culture of the extremes, I noticed that people just go back to the basics and go back to just being their natural selves and just embrace who they are. Cause I'm sorry, but the body modifications, it's gotten out of hand, man. It's unhealthy. It got to levels that it's unhealthy. Like the BBLs, you can't tell what a BBL is anymore or not. Cause now they got other surgeries that they be doing is I guess a mommy makeover or something that they talked about. I heard. Men are getting adjustments for height. The hair, the fake hair that they use for men now, women and their wigs, that's always been a thing, and some for good reason. I don't think there's anything wrong with the hair for women, but men are doing it where I get it. You don't want to be bald. I damn sure don't want to be bald, but it's just so. It's just a strange time that we're in. I get that being trans, transitioning is a part of that requires cosmetic surgery. And yeah, it's gender affirming surgery. And part of that really helps just someone live with themselves. Like, I get, like, even cosmetic surgery, some people want it to feel better about themselves, and I get it. I'm not trying to judge it so much in what I'm saying, but it's I feel like we're going to get back to this place of simplicity. And I'm for it, to be honest with you. I like the idea of just simple living and simple style, to an extent. Because you still got to have your own personal style. But the simplicity of just being ourselves outside of transgender affirming care. This is me being myself, it's not fake. I don't do this for because they say it's a mental illness in the government. I was thinking, like, if this is a mental illness, please cut me a check. Please cut me a check. I'll go ahead and take your money for my mental illness. But the reality is, it's like, it's just gotten to an unhealthy place of all the cosmetic surgery and the overconsumption of things. And the reality is, like, we need to snap back to reality of what matters. A lot of majority of Americans are going through this time of having to decide of, like, do I want to go hungry, or do I want these, like, do I want to eat, or do I want to get these new sneakers or bag or surgery, whatever, car. And you should definitely choose, your what's the word? Sustenance over consumption of something new. I used to want to get, like, the newest phone when I was younger, when the smartphones were starting to become a thing, and I was just getting new phones. Just I want to go trade my phone in. I would change my number all the time, and it just got to a point where I was started to mature, and I'm just understanding, like, there is no need for me to get a new phone. I don't want to get a new number. And so that changed over time, and it does take time to, like, mature and understand money and where it's going. So I really think that we're going to get to that point of things calming down with the surgeries and everything, because I always appreciate the 90s woman's body. The 90s actresses and singers and everything, always appreciate their natural bodies. I am a fan of the natural body. I don't mind cosmetic surgery in certain places, but I don't know. I just always appreciate the 90s and what the women's bodies were naturally. So, but I think that's it. That's it. I just pray for y'all, and I pray that whoever's going through this journey with me, I just pray for our adversity to come to an end very soon, and we're up for majority of the year than down. So this has been a humble good time. I am Eden the Hero. Peace.